It hit like a sucker punch at 6:12 a.m. That screaming orange violation notice stapled crooked to my workshop door, the metal staple still vibrating like it had a grudge. 72 hours to cease all commercial activity and remove unauthorized vehicle storage, or face $500 daily fines and forced property sale. My crime? Parking the same pickup I'd driven for 15 years in my own driveway. In Cedar Ridge Estates, Colorado, where the foothills roll gentle and the air smells like pine and barbecue on Saturdays, community standards apparently meant one woman's clipboard could rewrite the American dream. I'm Jack Harlan, 55, hands permanently tattooed with motor oil, and the kind of stubborn that keeps old engines alive long after the manuals say they should be dead. This workshop was Emily's idea. My late wife used to hip-check me away from the kitchen table when I'd bring carburetors inside. "You're gonna drive me crazy, Jack. Build the damn shop." So we did. 15 years of fixing neighbors' lawnmowers for whatever they could afford, her lavender seed packets still lined up in mason jars like little soldiers, her gardening gloves hanging on the same hook, still smelling faintly of her even after the cancer took her. That place wasn't just a business, it was the last piece of her I had left. Then the neighborhood changed. McMansions popped up like weeds after rain, beige boxes with 3-car garages and zero personality, filled with corporate transplants who wanted their slice of elevated living. Enter Victoria, Vicky Hargrove. Former corporate compliance officer, moved into the biggest eyesore on the block 18 months ago. Within weeks she was campaigning for HOA president with glossy flyers that basically screamed, "Your property value is dying because of people like you." She won by 4 votes. Democracy in action. The harassment started with friendly reminders slipped under my windshield wiper, suggestions that my truck was visually disruptive. Then came the dawn patrols. I'd step out with my coffee, and there she'd be at 6:47 sharp, white sneakers pristine, laser measure clicking like a sniper rifle. "Morning, Vicky," I called one Tuesday, raising my mug in mock toast. "Documenting another felony? That door ding on my truck really keeping property values down." She didn't even look up from her phone. "Just ensuring compliance, Mr. Harlan. This is a premium community now." Premium. Translation: no visible work, no visible life, no visible people who actually worked for a living. 3 weeks later she showed up with a clipboard and a nervous appraiser in a polo shirt who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Compliance assessment," she announced, voice dripping with the kind of authority that comes from too many HR seminars. They photographed everything, my sign, my truck, even the recycling bin. Her appraiser was snapping away when old Hank Whitaker shuffled over from next door, 78 years young, and the retired county clerk who still had the memory of a steel trap. "Mornin', Jack. Having a photo shoot without me?" Hank's eyes twinkled with 40 years of watching bureaucrats trip over their own paperwork. "Revised covenants, Mrs. Hargrove? Fascinating. I filed the original subdivision plats back in '89. Don't recall any signage limits or commercial bans." Vicky's knuckles went white on that clipboard. "These are updated standards, properly voted on by the association." Hank smiled like a man who'd just found a typo in the Constitution. "Association? When exactly was that formed? Because I don't remember any neighborhood vote, and the state never recorded incorporation papers." The appraiser suddenly found his shoes fascinating and started packing up. Vicky's professional smile cracked. "This isn't over, Harlan. You'll hear from our legal counsel." I couldn't resist. "You mean your husband buries Google searches? Tell him the converted garage office he runs with 6 clients a day looks pretty commercial too." That afternoon Hank and I spread yellowed originals across my kitchen table. The 1989 covenants encouraged small home businesses. There was a grandfather clause. Anything running continuously for 5+ years was protected forever. My shop. 15 years untouched. Better yet, Cedar Ridge HOA. Never legally incorporated. Vicky had been playing dress-up with power she never had. She escalated like a pro. Insurance company called about unsafe business practices. Bank wanted to review my home equity because of undisclosed commercial use. Even the IRS got an anonymous tip about unreported income. Each call landed like a gut punch, but Hank just grinned over coffee. "Every false report she files is another page in her own indictment, son." That's when I started noticing the pattern. 9 other home businesses in the neighborhood, piano lessons, daycare, bookkeeping, none of them touched. Only 3 got hit, me, pickup and grease, single mom running daycare, older minivan, and the veteran fixing bikes, service tags on his truck. All of us working class, all here longer than Vicky. It wasn't about grass height. It was about who belonged in her vision of premium. Public records search sealed it. Vicky wasn't just power tripping. She was a professional flipper. For neighborhoods in 10 years, same playbook. Install fake HOA, harass targeted owners into selling cheap, cash out to developers. The 3 properties she was after sat on the creek with development gold written all over them. Over $1 million in potential profit. My workshop, Emily's memory, my neighbor's peace, just collateral in her real estate Ponzi. The breaking point came when I found fresh key scratches on my truck spelling, leave, at 2 a.m. Then 3 forged county letters arrived, business suspension, tax reassessment, zoning hearing. Hank made 3 phone calls. None of them existed. Document fraud. Felony. That night I wired up for Deputy Ramirez, who'd been logging Vicky's false reports for weeks. "You ready to be the bait that catches the shark?" she asked. I thought of Emily's gloves on the hook. Born ready. Next morning I knocked on Vicky's door at 9 o'clock sharp. She answered in silk robe, coffee shaking in her hand. "Jack, this is unexpected." "Cut the act, Vicky. I know about the money you've been pocketing, $2,800 in fake fines from scared seniors and single moms. I know the HOA was never legal. And I know you've been running this scam for a decade." Her mask slipped. "You have no proof." I held up my phone, recording live. "I have bank deposits, canceled checks, and 4 other neighborhoods that match your fingerprints. Plus your husband just left for his very legal 6-client consulting day. Funny how rules only apply to certain people." Her voice turned venomous. "This neighborhood was trash when I got here. Pickup trucks, visible tools, people who don't understand value. I was cleaning it up. If I have to burn your little grease pit to the ground to finish the job, so be it." She said it on tape. Clear as day. The emergency HOA meeting that night was standing room only. Vicky strutted in like she still owned the room, power suit sharp, briefcase full of lies. "These allegations are baseless attacks by code violators." Mayorchin cut her off. "Mrs. Hargrove, the FBI just shared